In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the tech zone.
When I started this show, coming up on 3 years ago, I was just so elated. I was excited. The show almost didn't make it to air. Oh, this is Paul Amadeus Lane. You're in the tech zone. Gotta let you know where you're at. ABC News Radio, KMET, iHeartRadio, iTunes. What else? Spreaker, Stitcher. Yeah, all those great ways you can check us out. YouTube, live stream. Got you covered. Yes, we do. But the show almost didn't happen. It was one of those things where I was promised to be able to do the show, but then when it came down to it, it was like a lot of him-hawing around. And I was like, no, give me your word. We're going to do it. Let's do it. So we were able to get it done, and we're so happy going into our 3rd year here on the Tech Zone, and we've had some amazing guests. And my next guest, I was able to interview him when I first started the show during the first year. I used to go back and see some of the footage of how it looked and everything. Rather not say, but it looked kind of ghetto. It looked ghetto, it did. But the guests still came on. They still showed me some love. They promoted the appearance. And I was able to have this person on twice. And I'm so happy that I was able to meet him face to face at CES 2019. And I'm so happy that one of my first guests that I had on the show a couple of years ago is here at CES talking about my good friend, Patrick Sherwin, CEO, GoSun. What's going on, man? How are you?
Thanks, Paul. I'm so lucky to be back here.
Man, first of all, I love your jacket game. That burgundy, man, is so tight. It's looking so cool. I'm loving it, man. You're looking sharp.
Oh, thank you. I got no sense of fashion, so I got lucky on this one.
Hey, well, you know what I mean? It's just like what did Mr. Hammond say on Jurassic Park? Spare no expense, right? You're here at CES, so you got to look sharp, right?
That's right. That's right.
Hey, Patrick, so talk about being here at CES, because this is your second CES, right, or your first one?
It's our third.
Third CES.
Yep.
So talk about what it's been like over the last 3 years, especially with GoSun.
Boy, it's been a rocket ship ride of an adventure. Actually, we skipped a year or two in between, but we love being down in Eureka Park with all these innovators. Just the energy of sharing and pushing the needle on what's possible. This is fantastic. I mean, this is the ultimate place to learn and incubate and connect.
It sure is, Patrick. And I know when you and I connected a couple of years ago, and I remember with the GoSun stove, and then I think over a year later, you did like a 30-day of GoSun where you were cooking out in the snow, and you had eggs and everything. And I said, boy, this is truly amazing. So being here at CES and maybe connecting back with ones who connected with you like a few years ago when you were just starting out, what has been their feedback when they see like, whoa, look at Patrick now, man, got not only one stove, but several?
Yeah, it's still a growth, and I really haven't changed a thing about who I am or what I'm doing. We're not some kind of big important company yet. I'd like to think that's going to change because we've got some products that are really going to hit mainstream.
I'm going to stop you right there, Patrick. You are an important company. I'm going to tell you why. What this stove can do in undeveloping parts of the world, man, you guys are the superstars.
Thank you.
When it comes to innovation, because everybody can get a smartphone, they can do all these things. And don't get me wrong, smartphones can do some amazing things when it comes to a lot of things. But what you guys are able to do to help people cook without using, fossil fuels and everything, man, you guys are superstars, man. So I just want to give you some props. So you can go right ahead.
Appreciate that. No, we are trying to deal with some pretty big problems. We got 3 billion people in the world still cooking with wood and charcoal on a daily basis, and so we're trying to break a cycle of poverty wrapped around cooking that way. Causes all kinds of preventable health and a lot of preventable death. More death than wood or than AIDS and malaria combined. So it's we're on the beat, and this is the best chance to do the show and tell, the stuff that we learned back in kindergarten, taking care of each other, sharing. So I can't wait to show you what I got this year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And talk about just getting ready for this year, the preparation. When did you guys start preparation for the 2019 CES?
We actually wasn't so sure we were going to come, so we launched a Kickstarter in the middle of the summer, 18, and we're busy, wondering if our production run would be ready to show at the show. So we ended up signing up late in the fall, like in October, and then it was on. Whenever you're coming to CES, forget about your holiday plans. You're not going to be hanging out with family, chilling. You're going to be busting it out, building prototypes, making sure that everything's ready to go live and share with the world.
Well said. Amen to that. I remember a few years ago, Jeff Joseph, who used to work for CTA, is a good friend of mine, and he and I was having a discussion, and he talked about you guys being at the event in Silicon Valley. He said, GoSun stoves good. I said, Patrick Sherwood? I interviewed Patrick like 2.5 years ago. Yeah, I know Patrick. I know about the GoSun stove. But what you guys are doing is awesome. So, being here at CES, what are you guys showing off today? What's that innovation you're showing off?
Yeah, so we basically took our solar stove, and we're trying to kind of step up the evolutionary ramp to create an entire solar kitchen. So imagine having the essentials of your kitchen that you can take anywhere. And at this point in the game, you don't need to bring fuel. You don't have to stop for ice at the store. All you need to bring is some friends and some food, some family, what have you. So the sun is so good to us. We've got the ability to store the sun. We get to cook with the sun. And with the storage inside a lithium-ion battery, it's the fuel canister of the future. We can now power a refrigeration cycle, sanitation, all of our devices.
Wow.
And the stove itself. So the stove is a hybrid. It's not just solar, it's solar and electric now.
What?
And what's wild about that is that the heating element only takes 150 watts. Okay, so most toaster ovens or crock pots, microwaves, they're going to pull like 1,500 watts. So we're drawing 1/10 of the power of a traditional stove.
And Patrick, I tell you, it's an honor to see the stove in person, because I've just seen it via videos, via images that you guys have sent me. But to see it in person, I mean, it is a beautiful piece of innovation right there. And I know Patrick and I kind of joked about this. I told him that we're going to have our first annual grilling in the hood, that we're going to, GoSun in the hood, we're going to do that one day. So we got to get that going. But Patrick, please, if you want to, give us a little, a little tour. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so this one's called the GoSun Fusion. It's our latest and greatest. We launched this this summer on Kickstarter. So the reflectors are going to bounce the light to be absorbed on this evacuated tube. The outer layer is clear, the inner layer is coated. We're going to take sunlight and turn it into heat. It's really quite simple. We're not talking about creating electricity. We're making 500 degrees Fahrenheit inside this chamber. And what's wild about that is that inside it's going to be as hot as your oven at home, but the outside is going to be totally cool to touch, even when we're cooking. And what you're cooking is whatever fits inside here. This is about 3.5 liters, so you can chop up a chicken, veggies, steaks. You can do wonderful breads. It makes meats really nice and succulent and juicy because it traps the moisture and the nutrition right inside. And then if we don't have sunlight, like I said, this is that hybridized stove, so we've attached a electric heating element.
Wow.
At 150 watt. You're going to plug it in right here with a 12 volt cigarette lighter port. We're going to bring you a cord so you can then attach that to your car, RV, boat, or our lithium-ion power bank, which is in my bag outside. I think Heather can run and grab it.
No problem. Give Heather some props. Welcome to the show, Heather. Appreciate it.
We got the best helpers here today.
Absolutely. And the cool thing about it, as we look at it, Patrick, is just how compact and how easy it is. And you guys are able to watch this on camera. And just to apologize, I cut off Patrick's head just a little bit, but you can. Patrick said the star of the show is the stove, right, Patrick?
That's right. Well, the other thing I want to show you today is the refrigerator. So we've got this action that's I mentioned that we've got the whole kitchen now together. So this puppy, I got some cold beer for you guys.
Oh my, Modelo, that's my favorite one too, thank you.
And so what we could do with this little puppy, it's about 25 pounds, is we can actually store enough power in the lithium-ion power bank to keep cool for the whole day.
Wow.
And it can even make ice as well, which is kind of unbelievable. And again, we're using a portable lithium ion to do all of it. Like I said, that's the fuel canister of the future.
Wow, that is so cool. That is so cool. So, Patrick, when we look at all this information and all this innovation right here, it's like, what you guys have done to be able to put this together has just been truly amazing, and I appreciate everything that you guys got, man. It's I'm like blown away, my friend.
Right on. I really appreciate that. We're going to keep pushing the envelope of what we can do with bringing solar power into our lives. I think we all know that we got to try to figure out how to stop burning stuff, and that's my deal.
And Patrick, I remember you and I had our first conversation a couple of years ago about how things that they use to cook. And I don't want to gross anybody out, but what are some of the things that people... I want them to hear from your mouth, not mine, because sometimes they say I hyperbolize. So why don't you give them the 100 of what people cook with around the world?
Oh, yeah. So they're using wood and charcoal to cook. We're talking about 3 billion people. It's pretty much the biggest unspoken problem that we have in the world. I mean, it's preventable. So people cook on uncontained open fire every day. And they're doing this oftentimes indoors, so it creates all sorts of problems with related to smoke inhalation, upper respiratory infection, particularly women and young children. They just counted the numbers of deaths are higher than we thought, about 4 million deaths every year that are completely preventable. And so, there's options to do other clean cooking exercises with cleaner burning wood stoves, ethanol, propane, all the like. But there's very few options that are completely fuel-free and will totally eliminate all of those particulates and all that harm.
And Patrick, do some people even cook with like feces or dung?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely get into that. I mean, so cow patties are a fuel source for a lot of people.
Now, I've heard that before, but I've never known that people actually use cow patties.
Well, you dry out, you dry out that cow patty, and they cut it up into perfect little briquettes, and I've actually cooked on them in India. They're pretty impressive. The part that gets really challenging and scary is when people are using plastic and trash to cook on, and that's really an awful scenario.
Wow, I tell you, my friend, and Patrick, your assistant, I think she brought something for you. There we go, and we'll get that squared away in a minute to find out some things about this. And Patrick, there we go, we have it. So
yeah, so this is my portable lithium-ion power bank that I was mentioning. I can power this with about a 40-watt solar panel in about 3 hours, and that solar panel will give this thing a full charge, and this small 2-pound bank is going to be able to cook an entire meal for a family of 5 inside that stove behind us.
Wow. And Patrick, you have cooked some incredible things. If you haven't watched Patrick's YouTube channel, the 30 Day of GoSun, I mean, you are missing out on some pretty cool things.
Well, I definitely am not known for my culinary capabilities. I'm not really afraid of eating just about anything. And yes, I turned 40 back in February, and I decided to cook exclusively on the sunshine for 40 straight days, regardless of the weather. And I wasn't going to eat salads or fruits or cheat. And boy, it was an adventure. I lost about 10 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. And I cooked, and I didn't have the electric hybrid at the time, so I wasn't using electricity at night to cook. So it was a great diet. It was pretty hardcore to not be able to eat until the sun was up, and then when the sun wasn't up, and I'm in Ohio, so it's hardly up in February and March. There was I allowed myself to drink coffee and beer, so that kept me fueled through the process.
There you go. And I tell you what, Patrick, when you said 40, my mind went to like back in the hood days. When you said a 40, I thought of a 40-ounce of beer, and you said you bought beer. So you got any old English 800 in there for me?
Oh man, that goes. You are the OG.
Yeah.
I used to drink that stuff when I was a little tyke, man.
Okay, Patrick, now the way I used to drink it was in the brown paper bag. Was that you too?
Well, it would be like late at night. You sneak out of mom and dad's, and like it didn't matter if we were in the brown paper bag. We were drinking that stuff warm. We'd stash it in the bushes. You know?
That's what I'm talking about. It was easy to get some change from somebody. Can I get a quarter? Can I get a quarter? Get my 40 ounce.
Wild Irish Rose and some old E. We used to have the 64 ounces of those things.
Remember that? I remember 64,
out,
man.
Watch out.
Yeah, we used to do that before we hit the club. So, you know. But Patrick, hey, great catching up with you, my friend. So,
likewise, Paul.
How can our listeners and viewers out there find out more information about GoSun, get a piece of this innovation, and get on board with really becoming green?
Yeah, we're at GoSun.co. And we're going to be launching an Indiegogo here in a couple of months with this outdoor solar kitchen. You know, we've got to sign up on our website if you're into doing disaster relief or empowerment work. It's the GoSun.co/empowerment, to where we do a bunch of work with NGOs and governments, and like we're doing work with the American Red Cross. I didn't get a chance to tell you that. I don't want to take up too much time here, but
no, please talk about it.
Yeah,
that's important.
We just sold. The American Red Cross called. There was a big typhoon that hit some islands out in the Pacific. They're actually U.S. territory called the North Mariana Islands, and they said, look, you know, the typhoon leveled this place. We need something that's going to last, and we can't just set up a grid. So they said, how many stoves do you have? And we scoured through the distribution warehouse, and we came up with everything we could. Put them on an airplane the next day and sent them out. That was October, so that was a huge win for us, Paul. And it kind of set a new course for GoSun. So basically, man, you know, the world of working with your heart and doing the things that you want to serve others with is, you know, it will be received at some point. It took us a few years to get there in this case, but I'm really hoping to realign the brand, to really push everything we can towards disaster relief. And being there for people. You know, disasters continue to increase, unfortunately, whether that's a fire, an earthquake, a hurricane. And our products and our technology is there inevitably, you know, regardless of the grid.
Well said, Patrick. And you know what? I just want to let you know that being able to meet you a couple of years ago and seeing what you're doing, you are one of the bright minds of innovation when it comes to this product. And I look forward to chatting with you in the future. And just to let you know out there who are listening and watching, Patrick was the first company that actually gave a promo code to my listeners when it came to the GoSun, and that was a couple of years ago. It was the promo code TechZone. I felt like I have arrived when we got a promo code. So Patrick, thank you so much for that a couple of years ago, my friend. I really appreciate it, and thank you so much for joining. I tell you, that Modelo was good. Patrick bought some Modelos, bought some beers. I would have just got out of my chair if my man would have had some Old English 800. That would have just made my day. But enjoyed talking to Patrick and seeing him and what they're doing at GoSun, not only in this country but around the world. Remember, Patrick, GoSun in the hood, remember? We're going to do that. All right. When we get back, let's talk about the environment and what our next company that we ran into at CES 2019 are doing to make us safe in all the meaning of the word. We'll be right back here. More Tech Zone on Paul Amadeus Lane.
In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the Tech Zone.